You skipped dinner because you wanted to lose weight. You went to bed hungry. You woke up exhausted and somehow hungrier than ever. Or maybe you did the opposite. A small late night snack, a bowl of cereal, a handful of nuts. You thought it couldn't possibly matter, but your body reacted completely differently than you expected. That's the moment almost everyone gets wrong. Not because you're weak, not because your metabolism is broken, because there's a hidden biological switch that changes after sunset, and most people never realize it's there. Here's the part nobody talks about. The question isn't whether eating before bed is good or bad. It's what your cells think is happening when you eat. And that tiny misunderstanding can quietly influence fat storage, muscle repair, blood sugar, and even how fast your cells age. Stay with me, because this changes everything. You've probably heard the rule, never eat after 8 p.m. Sounds simple, but then someone else tells you a protein snack before bed builds muscle. Another expert recommends fasting for 16 hours. Someone else swears by cottage cheese at night. How can all of them sound convincing? Because they're talking about different biological systems without telling you. Your body isn't running one program. It's running dozens. And when night arrives, those programs start changing. Here's the critical thing to understand. Imagine your body as a massive city. During the day, factories produce energy. Roads stay busy. Workers deliver supplies everywhere. But at night, the city changes shifts. Construction crews come out. Repair teams replace damaged parts. Waste removal begins. Security patrols scan every neighborhood. The goal isn't productivity anymore. The goal is maintenance. Your cells think exactly the same way. This wasn't an accident. Millions of years of evolution programmed your biology to expect darkness as a signal for repair. That's why your circadian rhythm controls far more than sleep. It controls hormones, digestion, cellular repair, even the timing of your metabolism. Researchers at Harvard and other leading institutions have shown that our internal biological clocks influence how efficiently we process food depending on when we eat. The surprising part is, the exact same meal can create a different metabolic response depending on the time you consume it. Think about that. Not different food, different timing. Your body isn't counting calories first. It's reading biological signals. And that's where everything changes. Here's what most people completely miss. When food enters your stomach, your body doesn't simply ask how many calories. It asks something much more important. Should I build or should I repair? Those are two very different jobs, and your cells cannot fully prioritize both at the same time. This is where one tiny molecule begins making huge decisions. Its name is mTOR. If you followed longevity research, you've probably heard scientists mention it. When nutrients, especially protein, arrive, mTOR acts like the construction manager of the city. It tells workers to build new proteins, repair muscles, support growth. For athletes, that's incredibly valuable. But here's where it gets counterintuitive. Nighttime is also when another crew wants access. The cleanup crew, the recycling crew, the team responsible for removing damaged cellular parts before they become tomorrow's problems. That process became famous after Nobel Prize-winning scientist Yoshinori Ohsumi transformed our understanding of cellular recycling through research on autophagy. Imagine trying to renovate a house while the demolition team is still tearing down broken walls. Chaos. That's exactly the conflict your cells face. One signal says build, another says clean. The body must choose what gets priority. Most people think this choice depends only on food quantity. It doesn't. Timing matters just as much. And here's what changes everything. The body doesn't treat every nighttime meal equally. Some foods barely interrupt repair. Others completely change the biological conversation inside your cells. Researchers were surprised by how dramatic those differences could become over months and years. Not overnight, quietly, repeatedly. And one ordinary bedtime habit, something millions of people do without thinking, can keep that repair crew waiting far longer than anyone expected. The strange part? It isn't the habit most people blame. It's something far more common. Something probably sitting in your kitchen tonight. The hidden problem isn't simply eating before bed. It's the combination of rapidly digested carbohydrates in your body's nighttime biology. A bowl of sugary cereal, cookies, sweetened yogurt, ice cream, even white bread with jam. They all trigger the same quiet chain reaction. Here's the part nobody talks about. As night approaches, your body's insulin sensitivity naturally begins to decline. That means your cells don't handle glucose as efficiently as they often do earlier in the day. The pancreas responds by releasing more insulin to manage the same amount of sugar. Think of insulin as the traffic controller of your cellular city. During the day, traffic is flowing. At night, many roads are closing for maintenance. Now imagine suddenly sending hundreds of delivery trucks into those streets. Everything slows down. The maintenance crews get interrupted. That's why frequent high-sugar bedtime snacks can repeatedly signal your body to focus on storing incoming energy instead of fully committing to overnight repair. Stay with me. This is the part that matters. This doesn't mean every bedtime snack is harmful. Far from it. Your body actually gives you clues about what it needs. If you finish strength training late in the evening, a modest serving of slow-digesting protein can support overnight muscle protein synthesis. Foods like plain Greek yogurt or cottage cheese contain casein, a protein released gradually over several hours. Instead of causing a dramatic blood sugar spike, they provide a steadier stream of amino acids while you sleep. See the difference? The goal isn't eat or don't eat. The goal is choosing the right biological signal. Here's a practical protocol your cells can actually understand. Start your morning by eating a protein-rich breakfast within a couple of hours of waking. Eggs, plain Greek yogurt, tofu, or smoked salmon work well. Why? Early protein supports muscle maintenance and helps stabilize appetite throughout the day, reducing intense nighttime cravings. Around midday, build your largest meal with lean protein, vegetables, healthy fats, and fiber-rich carbohydrates like lentils, beans, or oats. Why? Your metabolism generally handles nutrients more efficiently earlier in the day, giving your body time to use that energy instead of storing it. In the evening, aim to finish dinner about 2 to 3 hours before bedtime whenever possible. Include vegetables, healthy fats, and moderate protein, but avoid large amounts of refined sugar or ultra-processed snacks. Why? This gives digestion time to settle while allowing your nighttime repair systems to begin their work with fewer interruptions. And if genuine hunger appears just before bed, don't panic. Choose something small. A serving of cottage cheese, plain Greek yogurt, a handful of almonds, or a boiled egg. Why? These foods satisfy hunger with relatively little impact on blood sugar compared with sugary desserts or processed snacks. One more thing. Sleep itself is part of the protocol. A cool, dark room and 7 to 9 hours of consistent sleep help regulate cortisol, insulin, and the cellular rhythms that coordinate repair. Food alone can't do that. Here's what changes everything. No single night will transform your health, and one late-night snack won't ruin it either. Your cells respond to patterns, not perfection. Every evening you give your body a slightly better biological signal, those small improvements begin stacking together. Better blood sugar control supports steadier energy. Better overnight repair supports healthier tissues. Better sleep supports better decisions the next day. That's how longevity is built. Not through extreme discipline. Through thousands of quiet biological victories, your cells remember long after you forget making them. But there's one cellular switch even more powerful than meal timing. A switch that begins slowing after your 30s without you feeling a thing. In the next episode, you'll discover how boosting NAD may influence energy production, DNA repair, and healthy aging, and why researchers are paying so much attention to it.